Hi, this is Venumadhavi Medharmitla. So, as a part of my graduate project, I was documenting my advanced software engineering project, which is done under the review of Dr. VVSM professor. So, the project title is SRS for Client Information System. Let me explain you what SRS is. SRS is a software requirement specification, which is all about documenting what the system is doing, what is the performance of the system, and what is the expected output of the system. So we are documenting that all the specifications of the client information system here in this project. So coming to the abstract of the project, this abstract will provide all the details that are offered by the system and a complete scope of a system. As I said earlier, SRS itself is representing all the requirements. Those are functional, non-functional, back-end and front-end requirements, documenting all of them in one place and representing that documentation. So in this project, we are doing that for a client information system. So it will be providing the complete scope of a client information system. The system is designed to be standalone application and does not require any previous versions or other systems to run. So the system is we know we need there is no requirement of previous versions of the system to run this, and it just require internet connectivity to send the client information via email. The intended audience is the developers of the application and the end user of the application. So as this is providing a requirement specification document of a client information system, this documentation is helpful for the developers and the end users. So the audience that are intended to use this system is developers and the end users. So when it comes to a developer point of view, uh, a developer needs all the requirements, and he needs to know what exactly to be done uh, to develop or implement the software. And when it is end user point of view, he the user needs to know what is the performance of the system, how to use the system, and what is the expected results that they can get from by using that particular system. So the results, so that the user will have some sort of idea about the results or benefits that he's gonna get from using the system. We have used different specification diagrams to show the user specifications, and the project is basically broke down into four phases, including requirements, front end, back end, and integration. So we have divided this project, and it is done as a work breakdown structure. We have broken down the implementation of this system into four phases. One is front end, one is back end, one is the initial requirements, what are all the requirements that a system that the system has, that is developer needs to know, and integration. So integration, when it's come to the integration, it is all about testing, release, and then we are doing again the integral test, and then we are doing a final release of the system. So all of this is documented using a WPS. And when it comes to a project objective, the goal of the project is to provide the SRS document of the client information system, which include information about how the system will perform, what the system is going to do, and what would be the expected performance of the system. This document provides end-to-end specification of the client information system, which is solving many questions of the users of the system. So, as I said earlier, user who are using a new system or who is not aware of the system, they have many questions: how to use, where to register, where to log in, where to edit their records, or where to go and make the payment plans. All of the information is provided in this documentation. The client information system will be a Windows application with an embedded database to allow or ordained minister to store information about the clients. So this basically the client information system uh, is a application, Windows application, which provides the minister. Let's say he is a owner of a wedding plan, or he's a owner of some wedding events. So he'll be using the system so that he can add his clients, he can edit his client's information, he can delete the client, he can make the he can provide a payment information uh, of the wedding plans of him to the client, so that clients can go register, log into their accounts and make the payment. And then specifically the system is designed to allow the minister to store, access, or share the information among this among his clients. Let's say the information maybe about the wedding place, or the event dates, or venue, or the menu that he's providing and all. The software will also allow the ministers to send the information to the client, such as a payment information. He can use the system and send payment information to the client, so that client is aware, so that he knows what the payments needs to be done and where it has to be done exactly. Then when it comes to motivation, software requirement specification is all about to provide all the scope of the system and all the description and design of the system. There is a chance of a poor performance of the system when the design is not documented properly. Let's say we are developing a new system, or a new software, or a new application, and the requirements is not properly documented, what the process needs to be done as a part of as implementation part, or is it design phase, or it is a testing phase, or whatever. When we don't have a proper documentation of the application, we might face problems such as a good performance. We might face any issues. We might face issues when it is using by the end user. So to overcome all these problems, we this software requirement specification documentation helps the developers and the users as well, so that they knows what exactly the system requires. When it comes to a product perspective, the system is designed to be standalone application and does not require any previous versions or other systems. So it just needs internet connectivity and user classes and characteristics. Only one user class is anticipated to use the system, that is the minister, and the user will have access to all the phases of the system, so that he can edit, he can create an account, he can delete an account, he can send an email, and all the phases of the system that the minister has an access. And operating environment, so this system is operated on a Windows. It will be built and designed to run on Windows 10. Will while care will be taken ensure backward compatibility with Windows 7 as well. The developers will not be prioritizing backward compatibility in this iteration. User documentation. The system is designed to used by a small number of users. As such, documentation will not be prioritized in this iteration. Assumptions and dependencies. The system was designed with the assumption that the minister is having a basic knowledge how to use the Windows 10 and having internet connectivity. So that is the basic assumption. We do not have much assumptions rather than that. So as I said earlier, we have documented all the design diagrams, like when it comes to registration or creating an account, or a adding a client or deleting a client, sending an email to a client. We have all design diagrams for these activities that needs to be done by the minister. So when it comes to account registration, first, to use the system or to use the application, minister should contain an account. He should be holding an account, so that he can log into his account by entering his username or a password, so that he can log in through those credentials, and he can add a client. He can be having a list of clients that he has, and he can go to the particular client and he can edit the information. He can store the information whatever he want. He can delete the information whatever he want, and he'll be doing such operations by having an account. To do all these operations, he needs to go to the registration first, and he should be registering to his account. So this diagram shows the actor would be the minister, so he's the one who is registering to the account basically. And then the frequency of the use is just once, because he'll be just once registering, and then he'll be logging to his account. And the flow would be he'll be going to the register button, then enter his email, his first name, his last name, his contact number, his and creating a strong password. When it comes to a strong password, to provide a high security, we have few limitations, that is few conditions. To set a password, the password must be at least 8 characters with a combination of capital letters, small letters, and the special characters and numbers. And this would be the all about the design of account registration. And when it comes to creating a new client, the minister creates a profile for the client with the client's data, name, his phone number, his contact number, his wedding details, and all. So the actor will be the minister again. He'll be creating a client. The flow would be he'll be just going to the menu tab. In the menu tab, he is going to the new client, enter the client details, and then click on the create client button, so that a record of his client will be created, so that we'll be having a records of a client. So let's say the minister is having n number of clients, he can add n number of client details, so that he'll be having n number of rows. So the special requirements would be all the required fields should be filled with the correct information about the client. And here, when it comes to the issues, while entering the details by this details, the system checks client's ID, whether it is a new or existing client. If it is a already existing client, it will not again go and create a new client. So that issue has to be addressed. And then deleting a client. So as I said earlier, he can add, delete, or edit a client. So now he'll going to the client section. He can delete if the client is already existing. So he'll go to the existing client's record, and he'll be clicking that, and he can go there and delete. He'll be having a delete option, and then he can delete actually. So same as these three designs, we have a the minister can edit a client information, or let's say if there is any change in a wedding plan or a venue or anything, he can just directly go to the client record which is already existing. He can first log into his account, and he can go to the client record, and he can edit the information, whatever the information he wants to edit, he can go there and edit the information. So we are having a design diagrams for that as well. And then emailing our client and the payment option. So all this information, all this design diagrams are documented in this SRS for client information system. And then when it comes to a non-functional requirements, um, in a performance requirements phase, when initially opening the application should not like take too long to open the application. It should be less than 3 seconds. And also when it comes to creating a new client or deleting a new client, the acknowledgement should be reflected less than 2 seconds, not more than that. And then as of now, we do not have any safety requirements till the iteration identified. We did not identify any safety requirements as of now. When it comes to security requirements, uh, prior using the system, the minister should register to his account. While registering, he should be creating a new password, and that password should be strong with 8 characters at least, with including a one capital letter, small letters, numbers. It should be a combination of all of these things, special characters and all, so that we can provide a high security. And a use case model. When it comes to a use case model, we have two actors. One is client and other is a minister. So client will be registering to the account, creating or removing, and then editing the details, and then payment information, wedding information. He'll be having access to all of these entities. And then when it comes to the client actor, he'll be having access to the payment information and then the wedding information. Let me explain you a work breakdown structure that we are going to follow for client information system. So we have 4 phases, as I said earlier. One is a requirement phase, one is front end, back end, and integration. Requirements, we have 3 subparts again: stakeholder requirements, software requirement specification, and a UI design. When it comes to front end, we have a main page, registration page, new client adding page, recording a payment, and email details page. When it comes to backend registering logic, we need to create, we need to have a create client logic, payment logic, and email logic. When it comes to integration, we will be having a release version first, and then in regression testing, and then a final release. So to conclude this, a document, SRS document provides all the end-to-end information and all the scope of a system that it's gonna perform, and how the system is gonna use, and what all the details, end-to-end details of the system. The framework is intended to permit the minister to store, access, and offer a data connected with the client and their wedding. This data incorporates like the client's contact data, the wedding data, and the installment details. The product will permit the process to make, update, alter, and erase this client data rapidly. So the basic requirement of the this documentation is to provide all the front and back end functional requirements and integration details of the client information system, and documenting properly at one place. So yeah, this is all about software requirement specification for client information system. Thank you.